This is a place where man and Mother Nature meet. The coexistence feels almost natural at this point. Small pieces of life that have changed over time, only beginning to make sense once held together. It's a place built on crossings of rivers, of railways, of people, of time itself.
Harpers Ferry is no stranger to change. In fact, it's layered with it. Changes in the landscape, changes in the industry, changes in the people themselves. And today, I'm exploring it and I'm taking you with me.
You can see those layers everywhere, in the railroads cutting through the mountains, in bridges stretched across water that never stops moving, in tunnels carved directly into stone. There's something striking about the way human structures exist here. They don't dominate the landscape, they move through it, threaded into something much older than themselves. And maybe that's what kept pulling my attention all day. That tension between what was formed naturally and what was deliberately placed here. They're not competing, but they're not fully blending. They're just existing together, leaving their marks on one another. There are remainders everywhere of what came before. Stone walls, ruins, forgotten paths, places built with permanence in mind. And yet even those things carry evidence of change. Nothing here feels frozen. Even history feels active somehow, still shaping what comes next. That's what struck me most. This place isn't preserved because it stayed the same. It matters because it didn't, because it changed, again and again, and it still holds every version of itself. And then there's the season itself, that early spring, the strange in between moment where winter hasn't fully let go. Most of the landscape is still dormant. The trees are bare, old leaves cover the ground. But when you look closely, something new is already beginning. Small flowers pushing through, fresh green emerging from what was left behind. And then suddenly, you see cherry blossoms, completely alive against everything still waiting to wake up. It felt like the entire day carried that same tension between dormancy and growth, between what remains and what's beginning.
Beneath it all, there are deep roots. But on top, something new is always growing, building upon the next, layer by layer.
By the end of the day, I realized I wasn't trying to understand this place all at once. I was collecting pieces of it, a root system gripping stone, a rail line disappearing into darkness, water carving its own path, blossoms appearing where they weren't expected. All these different fragments, each carrying its own story. And when they layer together, they begin to say something larger. Maybe that's what places like this teach us. That growth doesn't erase what came before, it builds upon it. New life through old foundations, new stories through old structures, layer by layer. And maybe that's true beyond places like this. In our environments, in our art, in ourselves. Sometimes the most meaningful growth doesn't begin with starting over. It begins with building upon what's already there.